amounts of cash because the banks wouldn't accept the cash.
Look, and when you think about the product they have that's so valuable and prone to theft, and you think about the cash nature of the business, this was becoming, according to Eric Holder, the Attorney General of the United States, a public safety issue for some of these companies. So the Treasury Department has issued some guidelines for how the banks can legally provide savings accounts, do banking service, even loans for these legal pot businesses. This is really, really a big deal in states like Colorado and Washington, but also for the other states that are doing medicinal marijuana businesses. But here's the interesting thing. Bankers remain reluctant here. The American Banking Association, Frank Keating, saying, look, they still have an underlying challenge for banks. Quote, possession or distribution of marijuana violates federal law, and banks that provide support for those activities face the risk of prosecution and assorted sanctions. We talked to Wells Fargo this morning. That's a big bank. Their policy, they say, is not to bank marijuana businesses. They're reviewing these new guidelines, but for the time being, their policies remain the same. So you're seeing the big banks cautious on this, even though there are new guidelines from the government, Carol. Analysts telling us they think small and mid-sized community banks might be the best bet for legal pot businesses to do business in the banking industry.
So what are people who own pot businesses doing with the money they make? Where do they put it?
They're big safes. They are safes. They are hiring armed guards at the doors. They are essentially operating a cash business here. Now, one of the interesting things the Justice Department has told U.S. attorneys not to pursue banks that do business with legal marijuana dispensers, as long as they follow some rules. They can't do any trafficking to children, any business whatsoever with the illegal drug cartels, the international drug cartels. No trafficking into states where it is not legal. So it's some of these hurdles that the big banks are saying, look, can you really guarantee if you give a loan to a legal pot business that somewhere down the line one of those rules is being violated? They're just not so sure they want to do business quite yet with the legal pot businesses, Carol.
Christine Romans reporting live from New York. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All new with an